Hey, gang, it's your old pals, Uncle Hank and the Kipster. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. That way you get the videos as they come out.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite new podcast. This is Are You Garbage? It's the show we sit down with your favorite comedians and find out if they grew up classy or if they're a big old piece of doo-doo. I'm your host, H. Foley, coming at you on a beautiful day down here Aunt Tootie's basement on a Saturday. You gotta love it, baby. The sauce is ragu and the prescriptions are all generic. My co-host coming at you from right next to me. He's the guy who put this whole thing together. He's the Elon Musk of Are You Garbage? He's got a Corvette out there in space somewhere with a guy sitting in it. Give it up for Kippy, Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
Hey, gang, happy to be here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. Those numbers are true to fucking roof. Thank you very much. Also, you know, the bread and butter, what pays the bills.
What's that?
www.patreon.com/
bonus content.
Are You Garbage? You get bonus episodes, bonus videos. We're going to be doing a live stream at the end of the month where we get to play with Are You Garbage with you guys. You get to ask us questions. It's going to be a big old family fucking patty. So check it out.
And we got good stuff on there, good content.
Yeah, for the first one, we called our moms. The second one, Foley made me have milk with dinner.
Plus some bonus videos.
Some bonus videos.
I just posted a video.
Yeah, he just posted a video.
All butthole.
Yeah, also, we got merch. Go to podcastmerch.com. A lot of tees.
Get that merch.
Get that merch.
And let's take a second. Let's tip our hat to our old pal, our producer extraordinaire, the very funny, the very confident, the very cool, the magic man, Toby McMullen, everybody.
T-Bone. What's up, T-Bone?
The big T. Back there
T-Dog.
working the ones and twos. But, gang, that's all neither here nor there.
We got
Let's
a hot
get
one.
to the fucking business we are to do at 2-4 here today.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, we could not be more excited to have our incredibly, incredibly special guest here with us this afternoon. This man is a very successful, very funny stand-up comedian, actor, and writer. As an actor, he has appeared in Hardest Job in Sports, Vanilla, and the Chris Gethard Presents. As a writer, he's written on The Break with Michelle Wolf, and he was also the co-host and writer for People Talking Sports and Other Stuff with Sam Morrell.
As a welder.
What are you giving up the reveal for, you dummy? What's the matter with you? He has an amazing one-man show that he can't wait to get back up and doing once the pandemic's over, called My Dad Isn't Danny DeVito. He has an album out called Dream Occupation, and as a stand-up comedian,
Kid's got quite a resume.
this young man is performed on Gotham Comedy Live, Comedians in Public, Adam Devine's House Party, Late Show with Stephen Colbert. He has his own Comedy Central Presents, and he just did the stand-up show with John Doerr. But the big question in everybody's mind today, does he work for the Imperial Senate on Star Wars?
You're right, I do. One of the fine senators of Naboo.
This guy's a big Mandalorian fan. He came in.
Full in bus guard.
Gang, do me a favor. Give it up for the precautious, the very funny, the very talented, the absolutely amazing Mr. Anthony DeVito.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, man. What an intro.
Thanks
Jesus
for coming,
Christ.
buddy.
What? Yeah.
That mask. I love it. I get it. If you're not aware, New York, we got a little spike going on over here. So we're all taking extra precautions. Everything's been sanitized down. We wore masks up until now, and Anthony's going one step further, protecting us and protecting you, the viewers, with his face shield.
Yeah, it's for you guys at home. That's really we don't know how far this virus can travel.
Sure.
And it could get into the wires. You could find it in your kitchen.
The headphones is what does it, man.
You gotta look crazy.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's so many things happening around my face right now.
But here's the thing. If this was like
He's got so many accessories on.
No, man, I feel like a guy at the Met Gala.
If this was like 1983 and you were at a college party, you would
Yes.
be crushing Everything.
Oh,
what kind
absolutely.
of fucking college did you go to?
I mean, like, like the whole nerd wave of the early 80s. What do you mean?
I don't know.
He looks like he's in, what's
if
it
that
called?
kid if he walked into a college party, get a fucking wedge. What are you talking about?
I don't know if you'd wedge this kind of guy. I'd argue with you wouldn't. I think you'd be sort of afraid.
What's the band that sings
Afraid
Whip It?
he's got plutonium on him or something.
Doc!
I would
Doc!
say more than that.
The Libyans! Run,
Oh,
Marty!
man, that might be Gaddafi from the future. That's what I would say. I think time travel was so prevalent in the 80s.
Yeah, sure.
that
It was
I
a hot,
think
it was a hot button
a
issue.
hot button. I think you would be like, we got ourselves a time travel.
Sure.
I'm talking
Stay
about
away.
I'm talking about like Devo and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
And
Oh,
Whip It.
yeah, sure.
That was very niche.
I could definitely be in a German pop band.
Yeah.
I think for sure.
You'd be spinning records in Ibiza right now. Killing it. Anthony, thank you so much for sitting in with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Give us the
Love
origin
you guys.
story. I know it's a little interesting.
You're a Jersey kid.
I am. I grew up in North Jersey, in Essex County. I grew up in the same town where the last scene of The Sopranos was shot there. Very, very Italian area. I found out a very, very big Italian family. I was raised, my household was my mom, my grandma, my great-grandmother, one of my aunts, and
Jeez.
myself.
All in
Yeah.
the same household?
Same house.
Was it like broken up into apartments
no,
or like
no.
one whole house?
We lived in one leather shoe.
Holy
No. My mom and my grandma slept in my grandma's bedroom on the first floor.
Together?
Same bed, yeah.
Wait, your mom and your grandmother slept in the same bed.
Same bed, just like they were, just like
Check,
how they were
please.
as kids. So they slept in the same bed. Then my great grandmother and my aunt lived in separate rooms upstairs. I slept in the basement downstairs. And then there was a man in our living room who my whole family would joke around and call him the tenant. That's what I thought he was. You know, I thought he was a renter. And then I had a friend come over in first grade. First time I ever had somebody over. And you know, like when you have somebody over and you're like,
That kid went home like, what
yes,
the
exactly.
fuck?
Yes.
He's like, yo, Mom,
went
no
home
more of
with
the DeVitos, okay?
Wait, hold on.
They're all wearing face shields.
What-
We're from the future, I tell you.
2020, you watch, it's coming. Wait a minute. When you say in
Yes.
the living room, was it set up like a living room or was it made to look like a bedroom?
No, it was very much just ordinary living room. And he just slept on the floor. There was just a guy who slept on the floor.
Like a pill? Like, did he have like a sleeping bag or anything? Or
He might have had a pillow. And there was just I didn't even think he had his own pillow. I think it was a pillow, like a throw pillow from the couch.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
a tough one.
So there was him in the living room, and then there's that moment where you're like, oh, you don't see any other families.
All
no
your
one comes
life,
over.
this is
But
your
is this-
this
yeah.
is your normal.
Pretty much.
From when you became self-aware.
From when I gained consciousness, this is my life. And then friend comes over, first grade, looks around, gets to the living room. He's like, "Who's the man in your living room?" I was like, "That's our tenant." And he was then later that night, he was like, "What's a tenant?" I was like, "I don't really
He's
know
a guy
what
who's
that
on the
is."
couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what a fucking tenant is.
So I've been told. So then I asked my mom about it that night, and she goes, "I never thought we would have to tell you this. That's not the
You
tenant."
never thought you'd have to explain the dude sleeping on a throw pillow?
Man.
Yeah, I
While
was
trying to watch Saturday morning cartoons.
Talk about short-sighted.
That also goes to show you how much of a non-inquisitive kid I was. She was like, "You can throw anything in this kid's face. He won't say anything."
This fucking kid's never gonna ask me a
This
goddamn
fucking
question.
dumbass. I didn't think you'd ever figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, man. He's happy with life as it is at all times.
Oh.
So who is he?
So I asked my mom about that. My mom goes, "That's your grandfather." So what happened? He cheated. This is a real thing.
He was an old guy?
Yeah, he was a pretty old guy.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on.
Oh, please
no.
don't.
No, go
and
ahead.
I'll
Go ahead.
tend to speed through. So stop along the way. And
Sure,
ask
I
as many
pictured a
questions as
younger
you want.
guy. Younger.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if you were sick, say, what's he, like 50s?
probably. I mean, when you're real young, you're
It's like 100 or
someone who's
12,
30 is
yeah.
105
Yeah,
years
yeah,
old.
yeah.
So, he was probably like 50s, 60s.
Okay.
I would say somewhere in there. And then, it turned out that he was my grandfather. He cheated on my grandmother in the 50s. She never forgave him. Italian couple, they didn't get a divorce.
Oh, man.
The house was in his name, and she wasn't going to spend any more money, she said, on him, even to get a divorce. So she just banished him to the living room, exiled there. All the food in the fridge was marked not for John. He couldn't eat anything except the waffles. And, that's just one.
That's a fucking grudge
That's
right
a
there.
bad
Yeah.
Airbnb if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Oh, man, I was scared out of my grandmother. It's like, fuck, you know what I mean? This went
Jesus
beyond like
Christ.
threatening me with a wooden spoon. I was like, she could psychological warfare.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
Holy shit. Well, okay, here's the thing that
Sure.
I'm curious about. how would you not, even if he did cheat, and there was a strained relationship between him and his grandmother, why they never introduced him to you as this is the guy
Never.
you've been living with?
It's fucking cold-blooded.
Is your grandfather?
No, I think
he didn't pick you up and hold you and give you hugs and kisses.
Well, he did. He would try those things.
As
and
a tenant.
I just thought I thought he was an affectionate renter. I really did.
Oh my God!
And then it turned out to be that. And I think my mom didn't want to see an example of like what marriage could turn into or whatever. And I think at some point they thought like he'd move out.
He lived in the fucking living room. They didn't introduce you to his That's you're even more fucked up because of that.
Probably. There's got to be so many things in this
Not
jar.
that a guy gets a hankering every once in a while after a couple of schlitzes. Jesus, we're fucking human beings. What did that do to you?
I don't know. I
Just made him become a welder.
Yeah. That's when I first
Picked up a trade,
That's when I
joined the
first-
union.
Yeah.
Get some good bennies. Let's do
He's
it.
sitting there with a mask on. How do you think it did?
I went the next
Dude,
day.
comics
I
have such
went to my
fucked
first
up
union meeting.
background. Join the local. Yeah.
What if Anthony was like, "Wait, there's a pandemic going on?"
There's been a
Just doing some
fashion
TIG
choice
welding
for
downstairs.
years. Finally, the world's caught up.
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it probably did things to me later on in life. When you're a kid, there's just so much
That's just what it
nonsense
is.
Did the
swirling
relationship
around.
change after that?
Not really, because
What?
he
You didn't say, "Hey, you're my fucking grandfather." Why didn't he tell you?
Well, I think he was under the assumption
He was clearly
Fuck.
afraid of the grandmother. I mean, they got the guy sleeping on the fucking
Now, why the
floor.
fuck
yeah,
didn't he
he's
leave?
petrified of her. Well, the house was in his name. He's just like a very proud guy.
What did he do for a living?
He was a mechanic in the Bronx.
So he was getting up and going to work every day.
Yeah.
Coming home, sleeping on the hardwood floor.
Oh yeah.
Would he put pajamas on?
Well, yeah, he wore these black sweatpants. He never wore a shirt. I never saw the man with a shirt on his whole life.
This
He
guy
wore these
talk
black
about roughing
sweatpants.
it.
What the
Jesus
fuck?
Christ.
He wore these black sweatpants. He'd watch animal shows and he'd eat waffles. That's all I knew of the man. But
he didn't talk much.
Your
Yeah, he
grand-
didn't say much.
Dude, this-
He didn't know. Like he was under the assumption he was under the assumption that I knew he was my grandfather. So he was just doing grandfather stuff.
You just thought you didn't like him?
Yeah, he just thought I was
This
kind
guy, I don't like this guy.
Yeah, he's like my grandson's a little cold.
Yeah.
But I'm
This kid's
doing my
weird.
best here. Keep buying this kid ice cream. He goes, "Thank you, renter."
What do you
I'll put in a good word for
Boy
Nick
lives
Bond.
by a weird code, but it's his. You know?
call him Mr. DeVito or something, whatever his last name is? Would he take you to the park?
No, never do anything like that. I didn't see him too much because he worked long hours, and then he had another. Later we learned he had another family on the side.
Oh,
So the man,
At least he got
had
a good night's
busy
sleep a
day.
couple of nights a week.
Yeah.
Hot meal.
So he was gone for most of the day. I would see him on weekends a little bit here and there, and then I would see him when I left for school, and then maybe like late at night. But he'd probably get home like 10 or 11 o'clock, something like that.
Did he sleep there every night?
No, he didn't.
So
sleep there
I
every
think
night.
maybe he had another
Yes.
family and moved on.
Yes.
But he stayed there a couple nights a week just to make sure
Yeah.
legally that he still lives in the house.
Probably, yeah. He was there probably. Now looking back, he's probably there like 4 or 5, 4 nights a week. I would
But wait,
say.
if he had another house and had another family, why didn't he just sell the old house? Or
well, because my whole family lived there, so
Yeah,
I didn't think he wasn't
He'd be
going to
kicking
be
out
that.
like 4
so
generations of
why
DeVito.
wouldn't he just
Yeah.
fucking bounce and
9
just stay?
women would be on the street if he did that.
and a kid with a face shield?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he just fucking not go there?
Yeah, I mean, you're also thinking this like logic. Like, who knows? I mean, he
Yeah.
decided to sleep on the floor. He's clearly not like processing
Well,
all
I
the
think-
fucking
Yeah,
options.
To some degree, it's like, well, he still looked at it as like his house and his family, so he wanted to be around.
Put time
them.
in and fucking
Yeah.
be semi-present or whatever.
Because my mom and my youngest aunt who lived in
And was
the
that
house.
their dad?
Yes, exactly. So this is their dad.
Yeah, so he's like in the
So-
house with his kid.
Hold
and
on.
they still
They never-
loved him.
You never heard your aunt or your mother call this guy dad?
No.
He was John.
They were funny, so they would just call him the tenant, and I just thought that's who he was. And then them just hearing that, they were like, man, this kid just thinks he's a tenant. We'll never have to tell him this weird thing.
I'm fucking blown away.
Dude,
by
that's
that.
bananas.
Yeah.
That might be the one of the. I mean, we've had some wild fucking stories, but that's up there.
Oh, my family, they're great, kind, and loving people,
Sure.
but they're out to lunch. I mean, this is just but
Out
one
in
thing.
left field with a hockey stick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even know it's a broom. They think it's a hockey stick. It's not even a real one.
So no brothers and sisters.
No brothers and sisters.
What
I'm
was
an
your
only
room
child.
like?
My room, I slept in a very just a very unpolished, damp basement.
Dude,
Just-
basement kids.
Yeah.
can go either way. It can either be really cool and tricked out, or you're just
Really?
like in the cellar.
It looked like yes. It looked. You ever see those like
In the
black
crawl
and
space.
white footages of like a steel factory in Pittsburgh? Very
Sure.
much looked like
Kind
that.
of Blair Witchy a
Yes,
little bit.
very Blair Witchy. I was
Sure.
petrified of the dark. It was just a blast furnace,
Oh, my God.
water surging through pipes at odd hours, and then just an already scared boy just under the covers, freaked out.
Are you the penguin? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude, that's nuts.
I do have an affinity for fish. Let's not rule it out.
Wow. A blast.
I do like a nice mackerel from time
I
to
love a
time.
nice mackerel right out of the ocean.
A dehumidifier scares a little kid. A fucking blast furnace.
Dude, I was
Christ.
just at my parents' basement getting all this shit, and I was
Yeah.
legit. I took one look into that crawl space and hit the fucking bricks.
it
Dude.
was-
I ran up the
Nope.
stairs
Yes.
so quick. As a
Horrifying.
fucking 34-year-old
Oh, my God.
balding
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I am so glad you said that. I would run up the stairs. I got this in my head that like the dark could get you if you didn't run fast
yeah,
enough.
Dude, you got a
I-
stick and move coming out of
Man,
the basement.
When I,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, man, I was like fighting Ali down there. I would run so fast from my bed to get cereal. I would, oh man, it was like lightning quick up those stairs. And if I like fell or tripped,
Oh,
it was like a
dude.
guy in Vietnam. Like I just kept going.
Go without me.
Save yourself. Hey, tenant, save yourself. The darkness got me.
Oh, I thought the darkness could get me.
Oh yeah,
I legit still
Real
think
cool
that.
kid over here. Huh? Must have been real fun at sleepovers.
No, I'd leave them every time. I would a stomach ache would hit every time at 2 a.m.
Really?
I'd leave every sleepover.
He's like, hey, Timmy, can you
Absolutely.
turn the blast furnace up a little bit?
Yeah,
Trying to feel
can't
at home over
quite
here.
sleep
Does anyone
without-
have night terrors in your family? I'd like to get a good night's sleep. I figured you'd want to do sleepovers.
Yeah. Well, I liked when they slept over, but if I slept over at somebody else's house,
Yeah,
no, I would
but-
freak out because I was petrified of the dark. So once that the movie ended, and I always I couldn't sleep, so then everyone was sound asleep, and it was just me and my old friend, the Blackness.
Buddy, that was
This is a
me
Stephen King book.
laying there looking up at the ceiling,
Yeah.
being like, how the fuck do I get out of this situation? Is it too late to call Dad? What are we doing?
Oh,
Kippy.
I didn't. I was so afraid. I would march into parents' bedrooms of friends
Really?
and just knock on the door and go,
Yo.
those bagel bites didn't sit right. You gotta get me out of here. Call my mom, and then she'd pick me up.
Oh,
Like an old Jewish accountant.
Yeah, and I go, while I'm at it, let me look at your books.
Mrs.
you got your
Stevenson.
receipts on you?
Mrs. Stevenson, what was in that pot roast?
I-
I need an Alka-Seltzer and a cab, quick. Kevin, let me ask you this. You're first, second grade. You get the big invite over to your good friend Anthony DeVito's house for a nice sleepover.
Happy to have you.
You have a nice
Bring your own well-doing.
you have a nice time, and it's time to go to bed. And
And he puts me in the
He
basement?
starts leading you down to fucking Buffalo Bill's place.
It puts the jammies on.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
puts the jammies on.
what's this bar of soap for? Don't worry about it, young Kevin. Just
How,
clean yourself, for
How
Christ's
long are
sake.
you hanging in there before you got Denise on the phone?
Dude, I mean, I
Get
probably
over
I
here.
couldn't get to the bottom of the stairs.
Buddy, did you have friends sleep down there with you?
Yeah, well,
Was it? Hold on, I got
had a couple big ones,
Was
yeah.
the a couple big ones? Was the floor carpeted or was it like
oh
concrete?
no, cold concrete. I
Oh
mean,
my God,
you'd get
dude.
arthritis if you were down there for too long.
Oh, probably cracked and shit. Fucking not even.
absolutely. Just poorly painted,
Black mold everywhere.
white cinder block walls.
Dude,
One
your family's
That's like an insane
fucked
asylum.
up.
Oh, it very much was. It's wild that I'm somewhat adjusted as I am.
Well, I mean,
I was
well, that's a
literally-
good point, Kevin. As I'm-
he's this was pre-pandemic, folks. We've had this one
this is
on in the
months
can
in
for a
advance.
couple of.
I'm telling you guys, there's a thing coming to the States from China.
Man,
Oh.
dude.
All right,
it's
hold on. Now I
amazing.
want to hear
Yeah,
about
it's
this
pretty
room.
nuts.
I'm amazed at how normal you are.
Yeah.
At this point, and guys, we're not even out of fucking second grade yet.
Oh,
let's,
sure.
Let's
We're not
fucking
even
take
at-
a minute to appreciate that.
Yeah.
This kid's not even middle school.
Yeah, honestly, we're not even at the Whopper. Or this is just other stuff. Yeah, more about the basement. Yeah, it was very, very, very scary. I don't know. Look, I just
I don't know
think
what you want
about
from
it.
me, man. I don't like that place.
I don't like going back there, Kevin.
Why, is that house still there?
No, they tore it down. The
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Goddamn
Who,
right
the
they did.
city? Jesus Christ.
The state
The
stepped in.
archbishop came in. Hey, disgraziado.
And burn it.
Yeah, no, a pope from Rome came. There was all kinds of chanting, and they seemed to have exercised whatever was in there.
Oh, yeah. The priest that exercised that place definitely smokes.
Yeah, he wrote an autobiography.
Dude, that's
The
crazy.
exorcism of Anthony DeVito's basement.
Yeah, it was. I never put it. It was like one of those things because you know that growing up when you're a kid, you just take everything at face value, and then someone comes over for the first time, or you go to someone else's house,
Sure.
and then you're like,
Oh,
things are not what they seem.
Well, that's kind of what
Man.
this whole show is. We found out. It's like,
yeah.
it's weird to fucking do. It's
Right.
weird to have a tenant. You know what
Totally.
I mean? Yeah. That one's is really weird for sure. But
Yeah, that I've gotten some other like I guess it's not that it's like very common in Italian families, but like other Italian people have been like, hey, I kind of had the same thing.
really,
So it does seem to be like this like weird Catholicism,
it's
like
it's
struggle
rooted
kind
in
of
rooted in Catholicism for sure.
I guess
sort
if
of a thing.
if he didn't cheat, it would have been less weird, and it would have seemed right. So it's a very thin line
right.
with the
Right,
the
I see what you're
conservative
saying.
Italians. It's either gonna be great fucking gravy on Sunday, hey everybody's here, or it's fucking blast furnace time.
Yeah, spitting on the floor.
Gee, your
Yeah.
grandmother sounds like she put a fucking curse on somebody.
Oh, she was a piece of work, man. Yeah.
Put your picture in the freezer. Fucking ice you out a little bit.
Yeah, no, she could mess you up psychologically. That was her move.
How was the cooking though?
Good cook. Not.
Did they feed you?
Oh yeah,
They
fed
took
well.
good care of you.
Oh, they're
Were
great.
they
A
affectionate?
loving
Was your
family.
grandmother
Oh,
affectionate?
So affectionate.
Okay,
my
good.
mom and my grandmother.
I mean, Italian mothers are. It's
It's-
notoriously
Well, yeah,
those
you
are the
think,
most.
but I don't fucking know with this squad.
True.
Jesus Christ.
Very true, but no, wildly affectionate. Very
All
much fell in line of the Italian stereotype there, and probably exceeded it a little bit.
So
I
they
mean,
took good care of you.
very good care of
Okay.
me. Yes, no, cook every night. My grandma, not. People would always say like your grandma's meatballs. It's like, she put peas in everything for some reason. I don't know. Like, she like her cooking was fine, but a
I'm
little
cool
bit
with
off.
that.
Yeah,
Really?
a little bit.
Huh. Interesting. I kind of like that a little bit. Like the crazy.
Yeah, no, you would have loved Vicky.
That's bananas.
But Vicky was a Foley girl. But yeah, then the Whopper is.
Here we go.
I didn't know. I didn't find out. My mom had told me my whole life that my dad had died in a car accident, and then when I got to high school, I found out that my dad was a made man in organized crime family. So
Holy shit.
yeah, they found. I mean, she wasn't. They
And he was still alive.
They found him in a car.
They found. He had passed.
So
when you were a kid.
he
So
died before I was probably like a couple months old or whatever.
That's when he actually. So when he actually died.
There was an
He did
accident in
die.
a car.
Yes,
Technically.
technically not a total lie.
Sure. Sure.
just-
She didn't crash into another car.
yeah.
she
they just-
Obi-Wan the
fuck
shit
yeah.
out of you.
Yeah, you know how accidents go. They accidentally fall into the trunk.
They
Is that where they found
accidentally.
him in the-
Yeah.
Oh
They
my
found him in a
God.
trunk.
They did. Yeah.
But you never met him.
I never met him. This all happened when I was an infant, or like a couple months old, like really, really early on. And my mom, she didn't want me. She wanted me to know, and she didn't want anyone to look at me differently. That was her
Sure.
big thing. She was like, growing up, I grew up. It was kind of, it was not an affluent suburb, but it was like. Not everybody came from like strange Italian family. Like we had a lot going on, so to add one more thing on, I think she was like,
Was it a
"You don't need that in your
Yeah,
life."
just try to keep it a little more normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
She wanted to give me a real puncher's chance.
It was an
at,
affluent area, but you guys lived in like a single family home, right?
We lived in we weren't part of the affluence.
I got
We
you.
were, struggling to make it as a family. By
Okay.
no means like were we like super poor. We were lower middle class,
Mhm.
but like that's where our situation was at in comparison to everybody else in town.
I
who was
got you.
Doing
So
pretty
that
well.
would even make it worse.
Yes,
I got
exactly.
Damn.
So yeah, I didn't find that.
And how did you
out.
find out?
Yeah, who told you?
What happened was it was sort of another kind of just like happenstance accident situation where I was playing basketball in high school at a local park, and there was a guy there on the other team who looked a lot like me. I never seen him before, and then everyone was just calling me DeVito on the court. And then after the game, he was like, "Your last name is DeVito," and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I'm your cousin from your father's side," and I was like. I was excited because I didn't know really anybody from my father's side, and I'm an only child. So to kind of have someone
like,
close to my age.
It's like a brother.
Yeah,
kind
who's
of,
also another guy. Like it's all women
Oh.
who raised me. So I was
Wow.
I was jacked. I went home to tell my mom, and my mom, she was like, "I need you to sit down for this." And then she was like, "Your father didn't die in a car accident. He was a made man in a crime family." So, but when she told me, she was like. My mom is, like I was saying, like she's very like overly kind, like so, and when you're an only child, your mother is everything. you know? So it's like, I never wanted to see her have any pain whatsoever.
Sure.
So when she was telling me she had water in her eyes, so I was like, I didn't really pry any further because like I could see how hard it was for her to even tell me that. So I just kind of accepted it and then just kind of moved on. And then later on, when we got a computer, I started to kind of look more into him and found out more and things like that.
Man, you're a good fucking dude. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm all right, man.
And you know what? Now I see the whole picture. The whole picture is your life would have been completely different if your father was alive. You would have been the son of a fucking made guy in a crime family.
Yeah.
There would have been the Sopranos.
Basically.
But instead that happened. He gets killed.
Yeah.
So then it went the other way.
Yeah, exactly. It goes the other way. And
so that their whole thing was protecting you.
Totally.
And,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Damn.
What did they say about your like when you were like, hey, did Dad have any brothers or sisters? Like growing up, what was the lie about your dad's family or something? You know, did they just?
And why did they want you involved with them?
My dad's
they're criminals.
Family? Well, just his dad was. The cousin wasn't.
No, they just wanted I mean, you know, that's their son and I'm their grandson. Not necessarily like they want to recruit me into the family, you know.
That's what
business.
I'm saying. Like, didn't your father? Where was your father's parents?
There was my family or my mom in particular just wanted them solely out of the picture. So that became like a legal issue.
Wow.
Just because
so they did want to see you and have
they
you in
did,
their
yes. We ended up having some kind of a relationship. It wasn't
after meeting your cousin.
No.
Or even before.
Prior, but I didn't know, and it was just like, hey, this is your dad's mother, this is your grandmother on this side. And I think we would probably see her like once every couple months. You know, nice lady, just ate eggs at a diner kind of thing. Really unassuming. And then later on in life, when I found that out, it was really seeing how scared my mom was that I never wanted to reach out. You know, like they could be fine people. They're probably great people in some ways. You know what I mean?
Your
mom,
it
was more that
you knew your mom didn't want it, so that was it, and you left it alone.
And she,
man, God love
and she was a good mom. You know what I mean? If she wasn't a good mom, I might have been like, all right,
push
but
back
she was,
a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, like she never asked for anything, and she gave me a lot. So it's like, if for her just to ask of this one thing, it seemed like very easy in a way for me to just fulfill that wish.
Sure. Shit. Now, was your father the only one involved in organized crime in his family, or was his father also involved?
Their family was it was a family of yeah. Yes.
Damn.
He's like, all right, yeah, just moving on.
Keep your mouth shut, fatty.
I was gonna ask him if he ever made his own Jello shots.
well, another story there. Yeah. What if I have like some dark, horrible tale about Jello shots that's worse than the first two?
That was my dad's final meal. You're like, oh fuck.
Man.
I'm just crying underneath a welder's mask. I can't believe I had one thing you're not supposed to bring up, Evan.
He was bringing Jello shots home for me and my mom. When they got him. They got him, Kippy. Anthony.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I mean, I knew when I like also too when you started working on the one man show,
right?
Like before the pandemic, it started like the stories. They're like, you gotta hear this fucking story. You gotta hear the story. DeVito's story's crazy.
Yeah, and for me it was like I never talked about it just because my mom told me not to. Yeah. You know, and then eventually, I mean, you guys know, doing comedy, it's like.
You burn through where you're from. What do you do? You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta get to the steak, baby.
Man, I'm sorry. I see Toby. Man, every time I laugh, it's such a crazy cackle. He keeps adjusting the knob.
Enough with the Chick-fil-A bits, huh?
But
let's get to the.
I'm trying,
Toby.
The DeVitos. Oh, all right, cool. But yeah, kind of that, and then also, you know what it is with comedy? It's like truth is currency. You know,
sure.
So it's like to have something that you can't be honest about was really hard on stage and off stage. So because you'd be talking to people and they would reveal things about themselves, and then they would be like, "Yeah, what about you?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, never met the man. Love Jello. Let's when are those wings coming?" You know?
But I mean, that's really a credit to your character, and that's really a credit to. When, art comes out in an organic, natural way. Other fucking bozos, that would have been the first thing out of their fucking mouth. But you know what I mean?
Right.
You're a good person, and you didn't want to share. That's what's probably making the show so powerful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I would hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
thank you. I was very nice of you. But yeah, it's also a thing too where like I wanted to do the story justice. You know, when you first start out, like you don't know. I don't even know that I know how right now to be like necessarily like funny and sincere and all those things. When we first started out, like we don't even know how to just be funny.
Oh, of course.
So to add on a
You would have been
layer
doing
of-
it like my dad. Fucking, you would have been doing it like real fucking, real like Central Jersey comedian.
Talking to the camera. And that's what we did it back in my town.
Yeah, you would
Grandma
have
had
really
jealousy.
hammed it up.
I come on
So I
stage-
told him to grab my sausage, and then my dad in the trunk. You know what I mean? Like it would have been
Yeah.
so cartoonish.
baseball
with it.
bat tapping in my hand as I'm doing these bits.
I go out to the car to get the groceries. I open the trunk. There's my old man. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
but that's broads for you. Yeah, exactly. So
That's so
Jesus.
funny.
for me, it was like I have to do. This has to be.
You wanted to wait to become the artist that you are now
Yeah.
to tell the story and do it justice.
Yeah,
God
to
damn.
do justice for my
this
mom.
fucking
It's
guy.
also so funny. It's like, yeah, I wanted to be this artist, and I just looked through him in the mask. It's so,
I know.
the face shield. It's so fun. We're having this like,
know-
like yeah. That's when I realized my true art was in his wearing a fucking. He's wearing a face shield that says face shield. I mean, what are we doing? It's
this is
so
what makes
funny.
it. This is what makes it so endearing.
I told you that. I felt the microphone clip the plastic of this, and I was just laughing in my head. But
So funny.
yeah, and also too for like his family, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, you write these people off, and I think The Sopranos did a good job of rounding out kind of who these people
Of
are.
course, as humans rather
humans.
than just cartoons.
So
of
it's
course.
like when I told this story, or I'm in the midst of telling this story, like I wanted to honor him to them as well. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
like,
that's
to his
fantastic.
family.
yeah, because it's like, well, look, you know, you're a product of circumstances to a big degree. You're not just like a born however you're born.
Sure.
So it's like there's shades of him that aren't just like what I could read about in the paper. So for me too, it's like I wanted to investigate that so I could paint a whole picture for myself. You know?
Of course, yeah.
Because
yeah.
it's like, you know, because he's someone where it's like, yeah, I could read about, like, you know, I found out by reading an article about him. And in that, you know, that's just like, they're just relaying information. But like to my mom, that's her husband. And to me, that's my father. So for me, it's like, yeah, I need to kind of carve out a full thing. Otherwise, it's like hard to reconcile with just what you see in print.
Of course, yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question now.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Just because of the piece of shit that I know I am.
Please.
I know you're the
you're a
opposite
great
end
guy,
of the
buddy.
spectrum.
I don't know.
When you read that article, I know if it was me, was there any percentage of you for a second where you were like, that's pretty fucking cool?
Of course.
Okay.
Of
Yeah,
course.
because it's
you
so
know?
romanticized in
Yeah.
American culture. It's
Yeah.
like what, like, dude. There's
Of
like
course.
Polish guys who are like fucking right.
Did
It's
you
like,
start
my
dressing
second
differently?
cousin's Italian.
You started dressing differently immediately?
Yeah.
Fucking wingtips and a suit to school. How you doing? Good to see you.
All of a
Boom,
sudden-
boom. Fucking breaking off the gym teacher.
Handing out
I got a
cash to
bad
gym
ankle today,
teachers.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't want to do the ropes.
This is for you. Make sure it's
Yeah.
a B plus.
Climb up there, you're looking
I
at
don't
my
even-
balls.
That's so fun. I don't even ask for an A.
Yeah.
It's a B plus.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
not get
You don't wanna be
crazy.
showing off.
I
You
don't
don't wanna
want-
draw attention.
Yeah, I don't want anybody looking over here. All of a sudden, this kid's smart.
Dude, yeah, that's what you gotta do. You can't let the heat on you right away. You gotta fucking middle of the pack.
That's too
Yeah.
funny.
There is that part of you where you're like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a guy at 18. You know what I mean? Who's just
Of
like,
course,
yes,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is cool. But then I would always just see that vision of my mom, and that was the part where I was like, I can't think it's that cool because there's clearly a lot of pain associated.
Of
Sure.
course, yeah.
So it was
Sure.
like there was that kind of like
There's no romanticizing for her.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. There's a perfect way to put it.
Is this thing, is it still an ongoing thing as far as like how gentle you have to be as far as names and all that kind of stuff? Is it still
I don't even know. I treat it that
Cut
way.
it!
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it just goes to black for no reason. But
Journey starts playing? Last thing you see is a plate of onion rings hit the table. Shout out to Sopranos.
oh man. Yeah, no, I treat it that way in case, but more so because if his side of the family ever heard it, I wouldn't want them to be like, hey, we're sort of misrepresented here, or we're disrespected.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also too, I just think like treating something that way, you're gonna get more depth out of it than just kind of going the easy route. Like
Of
in
course.
a
I
way,
got
like
you.
what you were saying.
I got
yeah.
you. Now, are you still, do you have a relationship with them at this point in your life?
Not really. I mean, we maybe we're friends on social media, but that's the extent of it. And
Okay.
not that I'm opposed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just what it is for right now.
Yeah.
Wow. I must have you. I thought I must have you confused with somebody else. I thought your mom was dating a blind guy.
That was my grandmother.
That was your grandmother. Your grandmother was dating you have the bit about it.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
old
okay,
black
so-
blind guy,
Yeah,
right?
my grandma.
Jesus Christ,
She
this
met.
guy.
Yeah,
What?
she met.
I know.
What do you mean,
It's
what? We're,
thought you were-
we're
I thought
shooting
you were-
hoops and riding
I
go-karts.
thought you were talking to me. I had a mini bike. Shout out.
Speak for yourself,
Speak for
Fatty.
yourself, goddammit.
Fucking embarrassing me in front of Anthony.
And we had 2 tenants.
Yeah, I don't want to brag.
I don't
you
want to
know?
brag, but
And a grandfather.
When did the blind black guy move in?
That he never moved in. She towards the end of her life, she met him in a nursing home where she went into the nursing home, and then my grandmother, she's an Italian woman from Jersey. Like this is a racist woman.
that's
to put it delicately.
It's not split linguinis.
Yeah.
Let's say she's from the old country.
Yeah. So she meets this. She's like horrible. She's depressed in the nursing home first couple months. Meets this blind black guy with one leg who's 25 years younger than her. Falls in love with him and wanted to marry him. They never did, but we looked into it. We couldn't figure it out because his brother was his legal guardian, and his brother met my grandmother and said, "You can't marry this woman."
Really?
Which I always think is great.
Well,
But
she's 25 years older.
yeah,
How old was she at the time?
she was 92 to 95 is when she was in the nursing home.
Wait, the
And-
years or the
age?
I love how
Yeah.
both
What?
families were like, "We can't be doing this." Like you,
Yeah,
they were like,
my-
"This is
yeah,
crazy.
You're
This
not.
is irresponsible
You
on all
are
parties."
not wrong. My
Yeah.
mom would try to say I would be like, "Why do you think it's wrong?" And she'd be like, "It's just it." And
It's
I'd be like,
just there's an age difference.
Just trying to squeeze that little nugget of just say it.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, no, this was like this unlikely relationship. Yeah, they fell in love, wanted to get married.
That's like a bad sitcom.
Yeah, it kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Or a great one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's an
I'd-
over-the-top cheesy sitcom. I'm
Yeah.
like, what can we do? Let's get the old racist Italian and the younger cool black guy with.
You're
who's
100%.
blind.
You know how many network meetings I was in that they just went, "You got a multicam on your hands," and every time I sat down to write it, I went, "I'm writing the biggest piece of garbage."
Oh,
in the,
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
saying.
No, single cam, good acting, little dramatic
Could be,
in it.
yes.
Yeah.
If
I
I
like it.
Foley is the lead character.
maybe you have a guy
Yeah,
hosts a
maybe-
podcast.
yeah.
They started a Patreon. Good dude,
I'll play that.
underrated.
I'll play the basement.
People-
You're the blast furnace. Ah.
it's like Avenue Q.
Now, did they move in together in the nursing home or anything?
No, they didn't move in together. Separate rooms. They wanted.
They're waiting for marriage.
Yeah, that's what,
Old school.
Saving themselves. I like it.
yeah. That was my mom's. I've done a bit about, it, but that was my mom's fear, is that they wanted to get married for sexual reasons,
Oh
so
my
they could
God.
move in. So they
At
could
that
be
point,
together.
let them. You know
Yeah,
what I
of
mean? What are we
course.
doing?
I
Of
assume
course.
nursing homes, everybody's fucking.
Oh.
It is. They're rampant.
Yeah,
Gonorrhea is like a rampant problem
Same
in
with
nursing homes.
herpes.
Yeah,
STDs and
they let it
nursing homes.
fly.
Good for them.
They don't.
Yeah,
they don't
fuck
have
it.
Because
the
What
nobody
that
can get pregnant.
Well,
so,
that-
yeah,
yeah,
everybody's
and
just
they-
fucking dumping clips.
Mainly,
Yeah.
they don't have the dexterity for condoms.
Yeah,
that's
You ever
true.
try to
Yeah.
see them manipulate a fork? It's like
Yeah.
there's no chance.
Little meatloaf, some
Yeah.
Jeopardy, and a little fucking little butt
A little
stuff.
bit of haja faja.
And so she was in love with him and
Yes.
happy with him until she died in the nursing home.
Yes. Yeah.
And is he still there?
He is not. He passed actually a couple months before her, and then
Wow.
then she went. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where's your mom now?
My mom is in North Jersey in an apartment.
By herself or is
by
she
herself.
with the aunt?
No, she's just by herself.
Where's the aunt? The younger-
A lot of them passed, and then it's just one aunt who lives in Delaware.
No, the aunt that lived with you.
Yes, she passed.
The young one?
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah.
Natural causes?
Natural. Yeah. Yeah. I know you got to ask
Talking
my
to
family.
DeVito's. You
I like
got-
how you didn't pick up on that. He's like, a lot of them passed. You're like, no, the one you were living with. I'm like, idiot. That's him saying she passed.
Yeah, no, my family. Yeah,
The young one? Wait, the young one died.
Yeah, no, fully. It was a shame. All right.
I'm sorry.
Talk about
No, it's
fucking
okay.
nailing
I'm trying
that
to
kid down.
wrap my head around
You're
this.
totally fine, man. There's just my mom's side at least a history of cancer in the family, so like
Okay.
a lot of them just got it, and that's what happened. But
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, like, growing up, it was a very large, big Italian family full of women. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Hmm.
High school was somewhat normal. Like once you found this out, processed it.
Yeah, pretty normal. And also it was like,
Sports? You play sports?
yeah, I played basketball, soccer. Yeah, it was kind of a thing too, where like within my family there were so many lies going on with like my. So it was like
Sure.
finding that out. I was like, why not throw in the mix?
Yeah,
You know?
whatever.
Who
Yeah,
cares
yes,
at this
yeah.
point? It wasn't until reading the graphicness of how he died. That's when I was like, oh, this is. I felt the impact of like, oh, this is gonna mean more faster than
everything else.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
But yeah, but it is like, you know, I don't know, the good fortune of then doing comedy and having all of like just having this wealth of material sort of at my fingertip. That's the one thing that's like, that's the pressure that I feel because there's so much to, you know.
You feel
to
responsible
unpack.
to the story.
I feel
yeah.
responsible to the story. That's
That's
exactly
a fucking
it.
good comic right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Dad. My fucking dad fixes air conditioners. Why can't you fucking do something cool that I
Can't
can
do a
talk
one-man show, but get
Kevin?
snubbed in a Wawa parking lot by your father.
There he was. It was you know, this thing wouldn't even get to the outlet.
about? Yeah, right.
But there's still time.
He
you
there.
know?
He didn't even have his crescent wrench
He
on
like
him.
2 cream, 2 sugars.
All right, let's play a little bit of Hey You Garbage.
Jesus Christ. I feel like we should muffle your voice.
That's what
Yeah.
the shield's for.
Yeah.
I've never had a lunch. Let's dip into a little Are You Garbage. Now, I'm going to ask you this, and we're going to kind of let's take it from high school on because that's what I was trying
Sure.
to kind of getting at.
Cool.
Do you think you're garbage?
I
No
think so.
disrespect.
No, I'm taking.
Gets
Yeah.
up, smashes my head.
No, not at all.
And did you dabble in high
What's-
school at all? Little racketeering, any bookmaking, anything like that? Did you keep a book or anything?
I kept stats for the football team, so maybe I might be right actually.
It wasn't like
Yeah.
a book.
I was fixing the games.
Yeah, sure. I fudged some tackles. Who didn't back then?
That's what we were doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, definitely, like, myself, sure. Like, I live in sweatpants. I shower every 4 days. Absolutely.
Okay.
I look,
Nice.
you know, I look like a pile of wet leaves come to life.
Well, you kept the self-esteem up. That's good. I like to see that. Were you a good student in high school?
I was okay. I had to really apply myself. I knew that. Where I wasn't not very smart, very dumb. I'm like someone who just got recently struck by lightning. I'm just like a little off, you know? I would say that's the best way
You're
to
like
put
Michael?
Yeah, kind of like Michael.
Yeah.
That's where
Shout
my
out to Travolta.
brain is.
Phenomenon. Was his name
was
Michael?
it?
No,
Michael was the
Michael is
angel.
the
Michael
angel.
was the angel.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon is when he gets
I
struck by
mixed them
lightning.
up in my head.
Sorry, they came out
Phenomenon
around the
should
same
A
time.
real
be the
Danny
angel.
Zuko over here. Huh?
Real,
A real face-off.
yeah, I was just, real John Stevens or whatever the fucking
What
name is.
did you go to college?
I went to college. I went to University of Miami.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of state, pretty good school to get in.
Proper
Yeah.
or like some satellite campus?
No, I know what you mean. No,
Like
no.
University
It
of
wasn't-
Miami, Kansas or
yeah,
something?
like the maritime campus, like
trash.
in the middle of Key West.
Yeah, it's like a cruise ship. You're
Well,
like,
that's
what the
not
fuck?
bad. Middle of Key West.
No, that's not bad at all. But no, I went there. I had a ton of financial aid given to me. And
Is that what you call it?
yeah,
Showed up
Yeah,
every
yeah.
month in a brown paper
Yeah, I know,
bag.
it's a
Some
bundle-
would call it blood money.
Yeah,
Okay.
bundle of cash in manila envelope. That's
Yeah.
financial aid, right? So yeah, I went there. I actually studied. I have a bachelor's degree in architecture. I studied architecture.
Holy
That's pretty good. You gotta be good with math and stuff.
I am not.
No?
No.
What'd you
not
get
at
on
all.
your SAT?
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
Oh, I got a 1060. It was low.
That's
Not
all right,
bad,
though.
not
You
bad.
break 1,000, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
big man didn't do so hot.
It's all right. It's a ridiculous way to measure intelligence. You know, I wouldn't feel bad for yourself there, fully.
Sounds like a 1060.
I got a lot
saying
of the
that.
reasons. to do it.
You know, you come to the parties. You know,
Sounds like what you say something.
Sounds like a 1060 saying that. Yeah, it's a bad way to test, you know.
Yeah. It's
No one who gets a 1400 is going, it's not a fair test. You know? That's 3-digit people
These
shit.
things are accurate.
That's C- talk right there. That's what that is. Yeah, we're all good. We're all on the same thing. Right in that meaty part of the bell curve.
Yeah, no way.
With his face shield on.
Oh, I need to protect myself from the dumb.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, no, I wrote a good essay, so I think that's what really got me in.
Did you talk about your dad?
I talked about my aunts dying and things like that, and I think I was always pretty decent writing. So I think that's what really did it. And then architecture, no, I was terrible with math. It's such a blessing that I'm not an architect. People will be dead. I'm horrible with logistics and math. I was good with because a lot of it in college especially is like conceptual.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Picturing
theoretical
it, yeah,
things.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I could do that very well. I could make connections okay. I could design good, but like everything else, like the actual like structural integrity, I have nightmares
Calculations,
about
yeah.
buildings in Fort Lee that I worked on.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
What made you want to be an architect?
Well, this was
The basement?
Yeah.
I wanted to design a bedroom when I was a kid.
People should not have to go through this. No, it was when I was 16, my youngest aunt, and she was on her deathbed from cancer. She asked me what I was going to do to make the family proud. I had just watched 3 Men and a Baby the night before. I remember Tom Selleck was an architect in a pinch.
I'm going to knock some broad up and live with my boys.
It looked like fun, man.
What do you think I'm going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. Hang out with Steve Gutenberg for an hour and a half? What are you, nuts? So I had that in my head. In a pinch, I just said it, and then she lived, and my family never forgot. And so that's what happened.
Dude, you guys are fucking sick. You promised on a deathbed you were going to be an astronaut. Now get in that rocket, Anthony. But Mom's scared. I don't know. She'll put a curse on you from heaven. Get in there.
You're going to see me looking up at you from the moon. Looking back down.
Don't you fucking embarrass me.
Dude, that's like fucking vendetta shit. All right, I'm going to become a fucking architect.
How Italian are we talking? Sicilian?
Half Sicilian.
We're
but
talking murdered in a trunk Italian, Foley.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How Italian?
We're not talking about a jar of Oreos.
I mean, how Italian? What, dude?
I mean,
Did your mother make a sauce? Shut up! The guy's connected. He's a made man. How Italian? It's like asking a leprechaun. You ever been to Ireland?
You're going to get us fucking clipped over here. Shut up.
You guys are good boys. You're good boys. You're good boys. It's not going to happen. Your friend told me. It's not going to happen.
Oh, God.
Oh, this has to go on beyond the Patreon or something. I'm too paranoid.
Yeah, we're in the woods behind some rest stops. Oh, using the funny guys, huh?
It's just going to be $500,000 on Patreon.
Small bills.
Non-sequential bills. Holy shit.
I'm just saying, man. That's why.
Now, I know what you're saying.
I mean, it's not like a baseball player or something. An architect. You know how hard it is to be an architect?
Very hard. Too hard.
Especially with a
I couldn't do
1060.
it. Yeah. Telling me. I had to take high school math when I was in college.
I took the only architect who went to summer school.
You're not wrong. I had to take this night class. Everybody in there was 45 years old.
I've had to take those too.
This one guy.
I never had to take a night class. That's trash, man.
They give you sig breaks.
Just quit.
Yeah.
Just give it up.
It's
like
we're
gonna take 5. I'm like,
I swear,
all right.
it's like an AA meeting, but they give you a book. There was this guy.
There's
I remember
a syllabus.
because it was like I was so behind in math that I had to take this night class on campus. Everybody in there was everybody in there was divorced. Everybody in there was old. And then I just remember the last day of the class, the teacher goes, there was this guy, he kind of slept through every class, head down, like this was a real drunk nap. And the teacher goes, all right, well, what does everyone want to do? He pops up and just goes, get drunk, go to Flanagan's. And then just went right back to sleep. And I was like, this is nuts.
And now he's an architect.
Yeah.
Tread lightly, folks.
He did the new edition of the Guggenheim.
I'm not familiar with the University of Miami School of Architecture. Is it an accredited institution or?
It is an accredited institution. At the time, there was this group that was running it called the New Urbanists. Who you guys see the Truman Show?
Yeah.
So that's a real town in Seaside, Florida. So that was their whole model of thought, was like turning in America into sort of spaces like that.
Sure. They did the same thing with Section 8 housing in Philadelphia, where they modeled after a Holland design company.
Yes.
To not make it, the high rises, but to make them like little almost townhomes.
Yes. So that's that. So the school at the time, and I didn't really know anything. I literally went there to not disappoint my family. I didn't know anything about
that's
architecture.
So nuts.
Yeah. Everybody was there.
Talk about like Catholic guilt.
Dude, you're like the guy who knew too little and asked nothing. Literally, just going through it.
For sure. I would have been fine in my father's line of work.
I tell you what, dude, this kid knows
Andy don't ask no questions.
No, at all.
There's been a guy on his floor for 6 months and he hasn't said a fucking word.
I know.
Yeah. So,
you'd be running things by now.
Yeah, well, there's still time. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
That'd be a great ending to the story.
Listen, we got a big meeting. All right, I got to keep a face shield on, though. My girlfriend's going to be pissed.
Yeah, meanwhile, exactly. I'm afraid of my girlfriend.
Who's this fucking
Listen,
guy?
my mom's going to be upset if I show up without no mask on.
Lorenzo, who's this guy? Who's this fucking guy? Holy shit.
God.
So
Fantastic.
You just went to Miami
Yeah.
to be an architect.
Yes. And I don't know.
Did you do any architecture after you graduated college?
Yeah, I worked in an office for like a year and a half in North Jersey. This like family firm. It was like the dad, his 2 sons, and then his wife did the accounting, and it was horrible. It was a nightmare. I mean, I'm also like I'm too shy. I have this like great combination of like being completely incompetent, but then too shy to ask any questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just everything was wrong. He would just come over and he would just be like, "We're gonna get sued if you do this," because like architectural drawings are legal documents.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare. I was a horrible employee. He was a verbally abusive man. It was brutal.
Sounds
You
like
probably
Ian
weren't
Foley.
used to that shit.
What's up?
You weren't used to that shit, having a guy
No.
fucking busting your balls.
Oh no, not at all.
You were once sleeping on the floor like a dog.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Kick him when you walked out the door. Move over, you.
Yeah.
Johnny
Yeah.
Quest
You
is
better not
coming
be
on.
here when I get back.
He did like Johnny Quest. You're not off.
Johnny Quest was
That
awesome.
was good.
Man.
Yeah.
And what about now?
Now,
Now you're in a relationship,
now I'm in a relationship.
have an apartment,
Yeah, we live in
architecture's long behind
long.
you. You've been doing stand-up how many years?
about 11 years now.
Processed everything to,
Yeah.
to a degree. You're starting to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, that was always the thing with everything. There was always a lot of love behind it. So it never really, maybe messed me up in certain ways, but it wasn't like so detrimental because it was like, but they were always just nice to me.
Sure.
So it was like, it never really was like this like brooding
This
thing
horrible
inside
thing.
me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's like aspects where it's like, oh, that's probably related to that, but they're flashes. They're not
Yeah.
just like
It's not
with
driving
me.
the bus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what's adds to it a little bit, makes it endearing, a little bit sadder, a little bit, awesome too, is that they're all gone now.
Yes.
The promises you made as an architect, they're all
It's all done.
your grandmother, your aunt,
Yeah.
your mom
My
passed?
mom's still alive.
Your mom's still
Yeah.
alive. Okay, and how does she feel about you being a comic? Is she
Loves
happy
it.
with it?
Oh, she loves
Doesn't
it.
hold a grudge with you against the architecture?
No, once comedy
You
started.
still lied to me. You're
Well-
at some sold out special or something like that.
Well, that's the thing. My mom told me so many lies that it's like she's got no grounds.
there you go.
No, she's so. I mean, the bar is so low for me. As long as I don't become a criminal.
Yeah.
So
As long as you don't end up in a trunk, you're pretty good.
exactly. So no, she loves me doing comedy, and then especially like when having some success at it.
Yeah.
She totally didn't care about the architecture stuff
Nice.
anymore because she's like, well, okay, you've made more here than you would have there, and you're
Sure.
happy, and
Sure.
you're all the things that I work so hard for you to be.
That's great.
So
That's fantastic.
she got the payoff.
Well said.
Yeah.
I loved you before. I love you even more now. It's fucking something else. But unfortunately, this isn't all fun and games.
No,
here.
yeah, we
All
gotta
right,
hold
we
your
got
feet
some-
to the
we got some
fire a little
business
bit.
to
We got to
get
talk
to.
about the election.
So, some Are You Garbage questions to see how you shaped up now. You mentioned the sweatpants. All right. Now, listen, the story's sad, but we're not the fucking school board, University of Miami. We're not giving you any passes.
Nah.
All right. Because let me tell you the
I
story
don't care if you're a
of
good
another
writer,
guy
kid.
with a fucked up life. You're sitting across from him.
Yeah.
So, any superstitions do I have to ask?
No, I don't think
Would
so.
you walk under a ladder?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't care
you don't
about.
even care about
I
all
don't
that.
care about that stuff.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You ever carry a lucky rabbit's foot?
No, I did carry
Some guy's pinky?
yeah, I
The toe of a man who crossed me.
yeah, now that you mention it, 1995 was a weird year. No, I remember carrying. I went to a strip club in Miami, and one of the strippers' hair fell in my wallet. So I remember I had that in my wallet for a little bit.
A piece of hair?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, well, that's the thing with you guys. You get a guest to open up, and then you go, I can say anything on here, and then you go one bridge too far, and you're like, I think that's my time.
Welcome to
guys.
Are You Garbage?
But yeah.
For
Wait.
what reason? Just wait, it fell into the wallet,
yeah, it
and
fell
then
in
you
the
found
wallet.
it later, or you saw it?
No, it just landed in my wallet, and I was like, well, I'm going to keep this because I want to remember her.
Okay.
A little token.
Oh my God, creepos!
Yeah, look, hearing
Wait.
it now, it's a little
How
strange.
did her hair come out?
Well,
I had my scissors on me.
Yeah, of course. Well, who doesn't go to a strip club without their blade?
Excuse me. Just how many lap dances did you get? You fell in love, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. It was like one of the first
yeah.
times I saw a naked woman.
Oh, that. Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay.
Especially with you coming
I
from.
thought this was like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh no! This is college. This is like
right.
this is like 20
Hey.
years ago. I had never seen a naked woman in my
Buddy,
life.
sign me up.
This was right before the pandemic.
Yeah, no, this is
First time I got a lap dance, I stole her shoes.
Was it,
Still wear them.
was it one?
Oh, I get it.
Was it one strand or a couple?
It might have been a couple, you know.
You folded.
How
up
long
and
did
put
you
it in-
keep them?
Well, as long as one day it wasn't there anymore, and I went, well, I guess that's over. Our love
Like,
affair
I
is
guess
ended.
I guess she's moved on to other people.
Did you ever smell them?
No, I never smelled them.
Dude,
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was more like when I would look at that, I would think of her, and that was a nice moment. It wasn't like I was like, hey, I need to go into my a private room and inhale her hair. It wasn't anything like that.
it was a little token you took with
Yeah,
you.
it
Kind of
was-
like a serial killer.
kind
Yeah.
of, but you know.
That's
I'd
what
go
the-
in the shed and
I thought
stare
you were
at
trying to sugarcoat. No,
No,
that's
I
fine.
was saying,
Yeah.
I was trying to draw them down and hit them with it. Foley.
Yeah,
Like
it was-
a real good host.
Trying to get him to confess.
It was
Play
quite
good cop, bad cop.
quite a
on this
hammer.
guy.
But no, I was it never I never saw it as like, you know how like you read about serial killers or psychopaths or whatever, and they
As
really
he's sitting here with the shield on. I swear to God, it was completely
yeah,
normal.
given my familial history, yeah. No, but you know how like they have such gumption and following through on their. It's such an obsession.
It's a lot of
It's
work.
a lot of work.
It's a lot
so
of
I
work.
wasn't putting in that much effort. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
If I was really towing the line and doing things and putting on kabuki masks and things of that nature, I might have said I've got some things going on here to solve. But it was more for me. I was like, I'm a horny innocent. I know exactly what this
Okay.
is. You know?
Okay. All right.
Oh man, that's fucking wild. I got one. Do you currently have on matching socks?
Let me check. Yeah, these are good matching
All
guys.
right. I got
But
some nice
that's
shoes
not
too.
every
Nice
day.
pair of Vans.
Oh,
They
thanks.
look
yeah.
new, unless you
The-
clean them. Are they new or did you clean them?
No, these are new. Julia got these for me for my birthday. I'll say they'll be matching, but more often than not, a sock will have a hole in it.
Ooh,
Sure.
Yeah.
that's tough.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The sweatpants are nice. You got a nice clean shirt on.
Thanks. I'm
Yeah.
doing my, I've been doing my best here.
That's good. He's got his going out pants on.
Have you?
Yeah, well, I knew the cameras would be rolling today.
We got HD cooking here. It's 1080.
Have you ever been to a circus?
Yes.
An actual proper circus.
Yes, I remember we went to Barnum and Bailey when I was really young, and I hated it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it
That's
scared me.
A circus. That's fucking garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
We never
And
went.
you know it when you're a kid when you walk in.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this is fucking trash.
Stinks like peanuts and elephant shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's got glow sticks. You're like, well, what is this?
Yeah,
This
what
is
are we
not,
doing?
This isn't an airport in the 50s.
Yeah, what
This
are we-
is brutal.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
You see, there's something just seems wrong.
A-
You know,
absolutely.
the animals aren't happy. You know, the clowns are all fucking weirdos and creeps.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like that shit at all. I
No.
don't care how much cotton candy you got. Get me the fuck out of here.
Well said.
Yeah.
Close those things down. That I hope that's
yeah.
Biden's first ordinance.
Those probably aren't too far away. Have you ever been to a pawn shop?
I feel like I have, but it doesn't.
Have you ever pawned anything? No.
No, I've never pawned anything. No.
Gotcha.
I feel like I've been in a pawn shop, but there's no. I don't know if I think I was just there out of curiosity. I don't think I was there for business.
You weren't shopping. Or
Yeah,
something.
I
You
was-
were just like, hey, I'll peek in.
Yeah, I
want to
know what's going on in these things.
Sure.
I've heard about them for years.
You weren't trying
That's-
to. You weren't trying to get a gun or something.
No. Yeah, I went.
I
How
need
much?
some nickel on him.
How much for Nicole's hair? And they went, sir, you need to
You
leave.
have any human hair?
I'm gonna have to bring in my hair guy to take a look at this. I got a guy who knows all about
Special-
stripper hair.
Special.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I
I own stripper hair, and stripper hair.
own, and today I'm here to. My girlfriend says this is garbage. I'll open it to both of you, fine gentlemen. At night, do you ever take your socks off with your feet and leave them in the bed overnight?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm big on that. I love slipping them socks
course.
off.
Using the big toe to hook
Oh, it's the
in.
best.
The hook and pull. There's
You know,
nothing better.
Good
So well
night.
said, and you get a reminder of the power of the toe.
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? You forget what these wigglies can do from
I
a day-to-day
know.
basis.
I
know.
Once that big toe slides that sock off,
Start
you go,
cooking.
Yeah, you go. You got something down there.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between big toe with sock and big toe no sock. It's like condom, no condom. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're
So
really
you wait
doing
for the
those
second
sheets.
one. The second one's better.
Second one's the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I
So
saying?
my
I'll say
girlfriend
this.
says that's garbage.
All due respect, she seems like a nice girl, but she's dead wrong here.
Okay.
You're sleeping, you're relaxing. The whole point of this thing is to be in a complete state of relaxation, and now you're leaving the bed, this warm cocoon, to throw socks on the floor. No, now's the time to treat yourself like a hotel room.
Yeah.
And just enjoy.
Yes.
Well, my thing is my socks don't make it to bed.
That's what I was going to ask, too. What do you sleep in?
Face shield.
Well, I do. You got to be careful. Face shield, condom, jockstrap. Those are my rules.
With a cup?
Sweatpants and then
Underwear?
underwear. Yes.
Underwear
Yeah,
with
yeah.
sweatpants.
I'll do underwear, and then if I get too hot, I'll take the sweatpants off. I like taking the clothes off in the bed more than I do before because then it's a whole temperature change.
Sure.
You know, it's like going to a different climate right away. There's
Sure.
something
It's
about
like a little
that.
vacation.
Yeah, it feels traveled.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I get it.
It's like the first fall day. Nice and cool.
Hey, babe, I'm going to head to Bermuda. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I like that part of it.
T-shirt?
T-shirt, yes.
Yeah.
T-shirt, if I get too hot, obviously take it off. And then
This guy's doing a lot of moving and shaking in
I
bed.
know.
No, it's like a Britney Spears concert. There's
It's multiple
costumes.
changes.
Yeah.
It's like going to see Bowie live.
In the 70s.
Did you see the number Anthony came out in?
Socks are on his ears. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This kid's bonkos.
I'll mix it up, you know. And then, upon request, obviously, if the girlfriend wants the shirt off, I'll do that. I don't think she likes that for some reason. Unless we're having sex, then she likes it, obviously. But in just normal times, she's more a fan of the shirt on. I think she likes a smoother surface rather than my chest.
I got you. You got a hairy chest.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Interesting.
I got a couple from Patreon.
Yeah.
That came in. This is from Ian. Shout out to Ian who joined the Patreon. If you join the Patreon, we'll read your questions. That's what we're doing.
Because we love you.
Because we love you. And we just get so many from everybody. We get thousands. It's like we're never going to get to them all. So, when you join, we'll answer one of your questions. This is from Ian. Did your family frequent yard sales on the weekends?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, my Aunt Midge was a big yard. She was.
Midge.
You got a midge.
We got a Midge.
Wait, what was her real name?
Margaret.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
That's in the wheelhouse.
We're big on aunts that had names that weren't her name.
Oh,
That's what
I had an Aunt Soupy.
Uh-huh. Oh, Aunt Soupy.
Aunt
That's
Soupy
great. That's
and an
amazing.
Aunt Quinny.
Aunt Soupy.
And
After Soupy
Oh, that's
sales.
funny. Soupy sales?
She
oh,
did
my
an
God.
impression. I don't even know the story, but it was Aunt Soupy.
My mom.
Yo, Soup.
My household would talk
Yo,
about.
Soup. That sounds so crazy, but you know how many times I've heard, yo, where's Soup at?
I love it. The amount of times I've heard Soupy sales mentioned in my household growing up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. My mom loved to tell me about the scam that Soupy sales ran when he was a game show host?
No.
He did this thing. He got kicked off the air for this.
Oh, did he really? I didn't know that.
He said, kids, go into your mother's purse.
Oh, and
send me $1. And they all
It was like
did.
millions of people sent him
Yeah.
money. Yeah, I forgot about
Soupy
that.
sales, this cartoon thief got a bunch of children to send him money in envelopes and got in a ton of trouble for
Why
it.
do you get in trouble for that?
I guess soliciting. I
Yeah.
don't know the law,
Huh.
but it seems like something you.
He's
can't
an
do.
architect, not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Folks, get an envelope. Send $1.
Send an RU garbage. Just go to Patreon. Send 5 of them. How about that?
The reason the studio is called Aunt Tootie's is because our buddy Brian Six has an Aunt Tootie.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's why- yeah.
Tootie's great.
Tootie's the word.
Midge
She
is
sounds
Soupy.
like she's from Goodfellas.
Midge
Yeah,
is good too.
Tootie's amazing.
Midge is all right.
Yeah, Midge was great. She was by far she was the only person in our family who did have money. But she shopped at garage sales. I never could put it together as to why.
And she would take you with her.
Yeah, I went a couple times with her. It was so boring.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because she
You
would
always think
The
you're like,
toys
oh,
are
I'm
always
gonna
whack.
get
Toys are
something,
terrible.
and then they
Toys are
fucking
whack.
stinks.
absolutely terrible. It's an arm of a GI Joe.
Yeah.
Half his face melted off.
Yeah.
On
And
a
then
watch.
she's like, "Look at this old lamp," and I'm like, "I just want this day to end.
Mhm.
This is horrible."
How much for the
Hey, honey,
lamp?
you said something about milkshakes after this?
I'll give you a nickel for it. Yeah. This is from Kayla. Have you ever used a Bluetooth speaker or headphones in your car because your stereo was broken?
Oh, that's
Oh
true.
man, that I've used. I didn't have a Bluetooth, but I remember like I have this definite memory of like iPod wired headphones in while I'm driving.
Yeah,
for sure.
I still do it because my car now just has a CD player. Not bragging. And when we go on trips, we'll bust out like the Bose and put it on the dashboard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're trash, man. What do you want from me?
My
What am I
buddy-
listening to the fucking radio like a jerk off?
Oh,
Who has CDs?
I got to get into the Phillies?
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden,
What do I do here?
checking the weather and traffic on the 8s. What are we doing?
My buddy's
Give me some fucking Pandora or something.
Yeah.
My buddy's dad had his radio was broken in his car, and all through high school he just had a boom box in there. That was
That's
like
great.
it was in the center in the
Yeah.
front. He had like those bench seats.
Yeah.
And it was in the front, and
That's
it was like
great.
had bungee cords around it.
The worst part
it's
about it
great.
though is
Trash.
when the Bluetooth
Trash.
when the Bluetooth speaker dies. It's like just gets real quiet. And you're like,
So where you from originally?
Yeah.
Just me and my wife. Like, so
We still love each other, right?
yeah.
Jeez Louise.
This is a big one that we've talked about before. This is from Nick on Patreon. Do you put the twist tie back on the bread when you're done, or do you like to twist and fold? What do you knot it, or it's pure? You're kind of crazy, pure psychopath.
Sure.
Knot it.
Who
Do you
knows
knot
what
it?
I'm doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
I'd love to climb in there and find out. And I'm in there. I twist it.
You
I-
twist.
I twist. I think I do probably a bit of both. I don't, because some people will twist, and then it's like, well, the next time you want bread,
It's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work, and then I go, I'm just not gonna have bread then. So I probably do 2 twists, and then I do a fold.
A tuck.
Yeah, I do a tuck.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the gentleman's way.
And where do
I believe it's called.
I'm not a fucking animal over here.
where do you keep the bread?
Keep the bread we have a pantry next to the fridge. Julia has just put the bread in the fridge, which has been confusing. But
Last longer.
yeah, I think she's trying to get it to last longer, but then it's like, well, now I have to heat up the bread in the microwave when I want a sandwich. Not ideal, but,
Ugh.
God bless her.
What kind of bread you rolling with at the house? You just doing rye? You doing white? What are you doing?
I like a white. I don't like to skimp on bread. I mean, wheat's fine, but it just gets too hard and it's too much. I like a white more than
like
anything.
a Wonder, a Stroman's? What are you doing? Do you have a
Uh,
brand you go to, or just?
What is that? Nature's Grain or something
Okay.
like that?
Oh,
White.
all right.
Yeah.
I got you.
White Nature's Grain.
Pretty
Growing up,
good.
we had Wonder. That was for sure. Yeah, it's got like a bale of wheat on it. I feel like
Sure.
it's like healthier.
Sure.
Sarah Lee makes a
Sure.
country white.
Oh, Sara Lee, I've had that. That's
Yeah,
very,
that
very
has
good.
a little dusting of flour on
That's
top of it.
excellent.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck it. It's like eating rubber, just moist and just perfect. In a good way. Good
Yeah,
rubber.
oh, yeah.
Good rubber.
Yeah, you hear that, Sarah Lee? I didn't want to offend you. Good
What's the sandwich usually?
Sandwich. I like a. So yeah, you got the white bread, and then I got like a honey maple turkey, and then I've got Swiss, and then
Swiss?
Yeah, I like Swiss.
Me too.
Yeah.
Holy,
Mayonnaise, mustard?
not a
Yeah.
lot of people are buying Swiss.
Well, it's a powerful cheese for a powerful man.
Yes.
I love Swiss,
Mhm.
and then I'll do. I forget who makes this. It's kind of like a rendition of a Big Mac sauce. Eventually everyone kind of came out. It's like a mayonnaise, ketchup, orangey, like
Okay.
Thousand Island dressing thing put
Sure,
together.
sure.
So I'll fry that with a little bit of olive oil, maybe a little bit of butter.
Oh, you make
And
it
that's-
hot.
Yeah, I make it hot. I like it. I like if I can. And if
Okay.
I've got the time, I'll do that. That's my go-to.
Damn.
But yeah.
Interesting. That's a pretty classy sandwich.
Yeah, and then if I have chips available, I'll throw some in
Pickle?
the middle. Oh, I love a pickle. If I've got one, good God knows,
Look at this guy.
They don't stay long though.
Come on.
If I got pickles, they're out the door.
Hey, you come a long way from the blast furnace, baby. I'll tell you that. This kid's class. Honey
Dude,
maple
keep
turkey.
it Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese is great. Swiss cheese is.
What-
There's actually 2 Swiss cheeses. There's cold Swiss cheese and there's fucking melted Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing. They're just 2 whole different things,
Mhm.
and they're both fucking absolutely fucking fantastic. I'll take a French onion any day of the fucking week.
Yeah, absolutely right. You can't put any other cheese in that situation and make that soup possible.
No.
No.
It's
No.
fucking banging.
Mm-hmm.
Killer. All right. So that's what we know about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, the Swiss cheese ain't pulling them out.
I don't know. I think he served his time. He served his time in the fucking basement and in the dark.
I'm saying from even college, the stripper's hair, you're not coming back from that. That's fucking next level wild.
I forgot about that one. It wasn't Florida.
I don't, dude. He can fucking shove Swiss cheese up his asshole. It ain't fucking. He ain't coming out.
And
of
that
this.
brings me to dinner.
Stripper hair and
Man. All right, I got one. How old were you when you got your passport? Do you have your passport?
I do have my passport.
Okay.
I'd imagine young, in case they had to get you out.
Yeah, you're right. My mom's she's a nervous wreck all the time. So I have my passport very, very young.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember.
That's the first time anybody's ever answered for paranoid reasons.
Oh, yeah. My mom, we had to be out the door any
Had a
second,
go
man.
bag.
Oh, yeah.
In case that tenant starts mouthing
Was
off.
that kind of a thing?
Kind of. It wasn't about that. It's just my mom's own neurosis. Like,
Okay.
did
Well, I
that
mean, it makes
really-
sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
She has a tremendous amount of anxiety just in general, and then I think that happened, and then it's exacerbated. So
sure. Well, it proved it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, hey,
Oh, God.
horrible things happen.
Oh, it's the last thing you need.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
yeah. So I had a passport at an early age, and I got a passport now. Just with doing comedy, and like I had to get one recently, maybe a couple of years ago. It almost expired, and I was going to do a weekend in Calgary or something like that.
Okay.
So I was like, I had to make sure I had it.
Yeah. I think I was 18.
I still don't have one.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I ain't going anywhere.
Why should you? Greatest country on earth.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember like my picture on the passport. Like I was young. Like that
Yeah.
picture I was super young.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know that is weird.
Especially because Italians hit puberty at like 12, so you were probably like you like showed up to the border, you had a full beard on, and it's like a little kid in the picture.
Plus the name on it's Larry Jones.
He's got like 4 of them. He's like, wait, who am I today?
Well, Mr. Ricky Convertible, glad to have you in our country.
Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Oh, that's
Ricky Convertible. Fantastic.
That's a good piece of it.
Oh, fucking! I don't think your name's better than that.
I got nothing else. My fucking case is closed. And I'm saying, you could
I don't know. I'm on the
should have
fence.
kept your mouth shut about the stripper thing, man. Really. But yeah, you're garbage, buddy.
Yeah.
all right.
You're
Yeah.
garbage.
Well, happy
It's
to
not
be.
like he's not super garbage. He's not classy.
No.
Let's put it. You're in the middle. You're
Sure.
you
Let's do-
lean garbage.
Let's
Hey,
do a couple of
happy about that.
tiebreakers. Do you keep your toothpaste? You brush your teeth in the shower?
No.
Very nice.
Well, that sounds fun.
Or do
No, it's not. Stay away.
or do you keep the butter at your house? You keep it on the counter or you keep it in the fridge?
I'll keep it in the fridge.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's good. What? Growing up, did you drink milk for dinner?
Huh. Yeah. Times.
Not
At
but
times.
Not,
It wasn't an every
Was it
night
a steady
thing.
thing?
Water was every night. I wasn't allowed soda, and I think probably milk on like Friday. Milk was a weekend drink.
Ooh.
Take the edge off.
Yeah, after a long week in the cellar, she reward you with some fucking 2%.
They didn't want his bones too strong. He'd climb out of the window or something.
You'd be able to break the chains.
All right. What an episode.
Holy shit! Yeah.
The one-man show, just so everybody knows, so when the pandemic is over, Anthony's going to be performing it. He was performing it before the pandemic. It's called My Dad Isn't Danny DeVito by Anthony DeVito. Whenever you fucking see that on social media, I'm telling you right now, you got a glimpse of it today. Go see that fucking show.
Yeah.
Go see it. Unbelievable story.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are great, man. Always great. I always love you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
buddy.
Anything else you want the folks out there to know other than the Rad Dude Podcast?
Social
Yeah,
media.
Just listen to my podcast, the Rad Dudecast. I do it with Brendan Ayer, Greg Stone, super funny
Greg, who
guys.
we've had on.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
Past
Yeah.
guest, check out Stoney.
Um,
Somewhat of a Italian.
Yes. Yeah,
Grew
he's
up
got
Yeah.
a mixed bag himself.
Yeah, he was trash.
Well, we grew up in the same town.
Yeah, you guys were like
Yeah.
old school friends.
Yeah,
right?
we knew each other from high school,
You
middle school.
did?
Yeah, they're
So
friends
Stone
forever.
knew all this?
He did a little later on in life, but he did. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and he would.
That's another guy to keep his mouth shut, too.
Oh, definitely.
Stoney's a vault.
He's a vault.
You're not
man.
getting anything out of him.
He lives to be that kind of friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
that.
He really gets off on being
Yes.
a good friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
More,
Ah.
absolutely.
Love him.
But listen to Rad Dudecast wherever you get podcasts. Follow the podcast on Instagram at the Rad Dudecast, and check out my album Dream Occupation. And thanks a lot.
That's fucking awesome. Kippy, what do you got?
As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. You can subscribe there as well. We appreciate that. And then fucking Patreon, baby. Patreon.com/RUGarbage. 3 different levels. You get bonus episodes, content, video, fucking live streams, the whole fucking 9 yards. Sign up today. We appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you so much. I'm at Kevin Ryan Comedy on all social media.
That's right. At Foleygrams on Instagram and at HFoley on Ice on Twitter. We have mentioned that we did have a December 3rd show in Atlantic City. That unfortunately has been canceled. We figured this was the largest way to tell, other than my
Sure.
200 Twitter followers. But yeah, the show's canceled. Well, we'll be making up that.
We
date.
only sold 2 tickets, so Mom and Dad, the show's canceled.
The numbers were a little low. I'm not gonna lie.
And Corona's a little high.
Another shout out to our amazing producer, Toby McMullen. Toby, what's your Instagram again?
At Toby McMullen.
Follow Toby at Toby McMullen, the magic man, the guy behind fucking
T-Bone.
Are You Garbage here. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
Peace.